Hi, everyone, and welcome to the fall edition of the Best Ever You Show. We've been a podcast for over 15 years now, so we're going to kick off this season, our 15th season, with our beautiful guest, Ashu Khanna, and her website. I'm going to spell this for you. It's ASHUKHANNA.com. And Ashu is, I love her happiness chronicles, everybody, but she's a spiritual teacher. She's a coach in her own right. She posts daily messages on Twitter, and I met you on Twitter, and I just want to welcome you here. I'll give we can talk more about your bio and stuff like that, but I just want to give a warm welcome, big hug to
Thank
you
you.
from
Thank
all
you
of us.
so much. Hugs
Yeah.
back to you. Uh, Lovely to meet you and Elizabeth. I mean, it's such a privilege and an honor. Thank you.
Oh, I feel the same way. And we met on Twitter. I'm in Maine. You're in India, and so it's nighttime where you are. It's morning where I am, and here we are connecting. And I had the privilege of being on Ashu's podcast a couple days ago. I don't know when that comes out, but just anyway, we're just sharing the love here. So tell me all about tell I know all about you, but tell us all about you, so we get a really good sense of who you are and what you're trying to do in the world.
So, okay, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a coach, I'm a spiritual teacher, I'm a friend. I'm really, as many roles as I can embrace. I love to enjoy life. And of course, I'm a person in my own right. I would take that completely.
So everybody listening, if you need some boy parenting advice, we have six boys between us. I have four, and you have two, and they are all okay. So mine are 24, 26, 28, and 30, and yours are.
30 and 25.
So we've got it covered.
Yeah, we've got it covered.
Yeah, all the people who are sending their kids off to college right now. Do you have some advice for them, because it's happening if it hasn't already happened, and we've got all those freshmen and first year. Uh,
I think it's a beautiful phase to see them fly off the cuckoo's nest and find their wings. While I must say I did have my share of pangs of all, empty nester pangs,
Yeah.
but just seeing them blossom makes up for all of it.
Yeah, it isn't that wild when you drop the first one off at college. I had this, like, it was like a moment in, you want them, fly little birdies fly, right? I totally agree, fly and do great things, but boy, I had a moment where it was like time reversed for a second. I'm like, wow, where did all that time go?
Yeah.
Right? Did you have that same feeling? Like, wow.
I think it hit me more when my second one went because suddenly I had both gone. And that was, it was it was more emotional.
Yeah.
But staying regularly in touch with them, I would say, is key
Yeah.
uh, to keeping that bond, that relationship, the support, all of it. Just staying in touch, especially for us since we are seas apart.
Yeah,
My
well,
sons, yeah, my sons have studied in the US, and the only way we've really kept the bond even stronger is staying connected.
yeah, through isn't can you imagine doing that without the invention of the phone? The iPhone and
You
whatever, and Zoom and FaceTime and
know,
all that stuff. Even the invention of the phone, maybe.
funnily, I don't know which one, whether it's while it's a blessing to have all of this and stay in touch and see them every day regularly and everything. I think there was a charm to writing those letters on letter papers.
Right.
The memories that were captured on that, I think, just had a different romance to it.
Now, do you still write them letters? Because I'm a letter writer. Like, I'd be a great pen pal. We'd be great pen pals, because I don't know. I don't know how to send a letter overseas, but I can sure find it out. I'll admit it. I'm so used to the technology that I've never even done that. So that'd be fun, though, wouldn't it?
It would, but I don't write letters now as much as I used to,
Oh,
I
I love
must
them.
admit.
They have stores here with magnificent stationery, and I love handwritten letters and handwritten thank you notes and things like that.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to fire that up. So, all right, I'm going to go to your website for a minute here. Um, you are all about happiness as a choice, leadership as an attitude. That's like right on the homepage of your website. How did you get started in all of this, and what does that mean to you? That's a big message of yours.
So I really, um, okay, I think the main thing about really me is that I'm really intuitive,
Hmm.
very, very intuitive. I am very much into self respect, is very important to me. And I think one of the things that I found as a gap when I lived in India and overseas, I've worked with both places. And I think one of the things I saw missing in corporate India or corporate world per se, was respect. Sometimes I think the leaning towards authority is sometimes so much that people lose sight, or now we talk about profit, purpose, people, all of that. But back then, 20 plus years ago, no, it was just so much of profit. People did not talk about purpose or managing teams, really. Technical training, oh absolutely, so you were treated like this little machine who had to deliver all the time. It's all about execution. And that bothered me. That really bothered me in terms of seeing that the focus on people, focus on purpose was missing. And that's what made me really quit the corporate world and say, no, there is a better way of doing leadership.
Yeah.
There has to be, because I'd seen leaders, I'd worked with leaders who were, like any other person, you work with leaders who are more mature, you work with leaders who are more aggressive. So I'd had my share of diverse leaders
Yeah.
who had mentored me. And seeing that, it was like, no, there has to be. And I grew up in a family where my parents were very relationship oriented always. It was so much about love and relationship life
Yeah.
that had a very, it still is a very big part of me. And that's how I guess we met, even through Twitter. For me, it's really, life is really about relationships.
Yeah.
And
Um,
I
I
think
have,
I've,
I have a question for you. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I have a question for you. I want to go back and just I want to put the female spin on that whole thing too, with children and working and trying to be a leadership and even just hold down a job with small kids. Did you find that challenging, or was that easy for you? Because I know I had a heck of a time with four small kids, each 2 years apart.
of course, see, when you decide to want, okay, I think it's all a question of you want it all, then you have to find a way to balance it all. And it's a
Right. Yeah.
constant, it's a constant thing of juggling the ball. Sometimes one falls, and sometimes you have to get okay with yourself with dropping the ball once in a while. There's no way you can catch each one of them. And it required me to learn how to be more authentic with my children and actually respect their feelings and say, I'm sorry, I won't be here today, or I can be here, or be okay telling my clients I got to go to school, or even my managers at work, I got to be at my son's school, or I need to do something personally. So I think that authenticity or communication becomes a very fundamental thing to even asking for support, bringing that vulnerability out. Stop trying to be super mom and doing it all. So
That's hard.
that's hard. Yeah, because you wear that mantle of thinking that you need to hold every ball in the air and it's only your problem. Uh, I had to learn to empower my staff at home also or at work and say, okay, no, you have to let go. I think letting go is a very big lesson that I learned, at vulnerability, through this whole parenting. And kids are, they observe, they really catch you, you bet. uh, uh,
Yeah.
so while they are your biggest fans, they are even your quickest critics. They will catch you if you slip.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's
there's no
funny.
point pretending. There is really no point pretending, and being more humble about it and saying, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I
So did you
goofed.
have Yeah, exactly, yeah. Did you have a moment that you can share with us where you shifted from the corporate culture and career and so forth to the path you're on now? Was there a moment where you're like, "Okay, that's it. I'm done," or was it more gradual?
So okay, it was more gradual, but I think there was a very defining moment in my life when I got stung by 100 bees, Elizabeth, in Singapore.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was
oh,
a,
oh,
yeah, that's a
I'm
huge one.
that's scary to live through.
Yeah, that was a
And let
very,
me ask you a question. Were you allergic on top of it or just stung by bees?
so I was allergic. I had had a very, very severely allergic reaction in a few years before that in Hong Kong, where I just survived it. And the cause remains unknown till date,
Right.
uh, because it was such a,
Oh,
close to fatal episode. And the second, so when I got stung by the bees, there was nobody who stopped to help, even though I was just outside in the center of outside my condominium in Singapore, but nobody stopped to help. So I drove myself to the hospital, um,
oh, wow.
because there was no, I just knew I had to find a way to survive it.
Yep.
uh, was it smart? I don't know. Was it foolish? I don't know, but divine providence helped me get there. And
Yeah.
I'm here to, I guess I still had a lot more to live and do.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So yeah, I feel with my allergies, I have food allergies. We were talking about, I have 4 life-threatening food allergies. So, um, allergies are terrifying. So now
yeah.
do you carry around, do you have so like I have a medic alert on and it
So
says,
I used to carry an EpiPen for the longest time.
"Oh,
Uh,
please do again because there's terrifying."
yeah. So I've been, I think, quite blessed in terms of have, but that was a big wake up call to saying, if the universe has given me two near death experiences, it's time for me to question my own existence. What am I up to?
Yeah.
And that was a very existential moment where where I started looking at what am I doing with myself, and the biggest realization that came was that I'd suppressed my feelings.
Mm.
I had suppressed my feelings. I'd gotten into the homemaker mode so much that somewhere I had stopped valuing myself.
Oh, yeah. I have a
Because
son.
there are no gold stars for a mom. We give gold stars to the kids, but I love that.
I
I love that.
it hangs right there all the
Yeah.
time because it did the
Yeah.
same thing. Okay, keep going with this because I'm gonna put
So
this down.
that's
But
what really made me say, hey, that's what really made me say, hey, I need to look at what do I want to do with my life and myself. Um, I started exploring options, entrepreneurial. I think I was quite done with the corporate world by then, and I was flirting with in, out. What should I do? What will work for me?
yeah,
And coming back to India is how I found this gap in leadership development. And I decided to totally jump out of everything and say, okay, I'm doing this.
yeah, yeah. And do you love it? Are you? It's a I have bouts where you feel like you're a little bit alone sometimes in doing, like the corporate culture for me meant a little bit of bouncing ideas off of each other and collaborating on things. So that's the one thing I've had to recreate here at home, to find people that I could collaborate with and love and so forth and get feedback from and I love to collab. I'm just such a big collaborator. So sometimes I would feel a little bit lonely in my endeavors. Have you had that or are you all good?
So no, of course. I mean, moving from a structured environment to a totally creating your own structure.
Right.
Uh, I have a huge ecosystem of people I reach out to, literally. Whether it's coaches, people from my spiritual community, whether it's friends, my family, my team, my digital team, my tech team, I reach out for feedbacks, ideas, conversations, uh, my Twitter, for that
Yeah.
matter,
Yes.
uh, social media platforms, because based on the feedback is how you really say, okay, what do I do next? How do I do it differently? There is just so much that I receive from the world, and I am more than happy to go out and get it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have I hear your puppy in the background. We have puppies too. We have okay, so we're here. This is the part, the authenticity. I think one of the things that is most important in everything is authenticity and not hiding anything. So for me, like when COVID came around, and I hated every minute of COVID, but I did respect and love the fact that people were up on their computers and they were who they were, and they had kids in the background and cats and dogs and their hair up and shorts on and whatever it was.
She's barking for attention. She wants to
Yeah,
come
of
in.
course. Bring her in.
Okay.
Yeah, if you need to get her, bring her in because
She's
I love dogs. So come on in. So cute. So now we have a dog joining the podcast. That's a cool door and a beautiful outfit.
Thank you so much. And that's my
Hi. Hello. And what is your name?
her name is Laika.
Oh,
And
like oh my gosh.
so
So
she
aren't they the best life coaches ever?
oh, unbelievable. So she goes to office with me very often.
Yep.
And she loves her outings. So everybody at office loves her because it's this perfect de-stressor. You'll run a little with her, you'll give her your cuddles, and she'll give you your licks, and you're set.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a dog. She's got her nose to the window over here, so I won't let her in because she'll be all over the place. But she and I are kind of inseparable almost. Her name's Bahama,
Okay.
and she goes everywhere with me, stores, all the same stuff. So all right. So if she needs to come back up, just let me know. And all right. So let's talk about your teachings. What about let's talk about your inner voice and the importance of listening to your inner voice. Maybe touch on some of that intuition that you were talking about.
So, way back 2006, my journey of transformation, while like there were many defining moments, this was yet another one. When I decided to do leadership development, I went to Henley on Thames, and I met my coach there. I went for just a course trying to figure out how do I do it, what do I do next, and she observed me through the week. And I was yo-yoing between being very friendly and being very judgmental and aggressive. Someone who really, as if needed to capture attention.
Right.
Um, and that's when she actually asked me, how coachable are you? I'd never even heard the word, never knew that concept existed. So that's when so I asked her, I said, if you were to coach me, what would you say? And lo and behold, the first question she asked me, whose acceptance are you waiting for?
Oh, there's a good one, right?
That's a
Oh,
huge one.
huge. Yep.
Now, we don't even realize that we've been sitting and spending our entire life looking for somebody to give us approval, whether it's our parents or family or society or someone or the other. It's always around. And I just had a complete meltdown moment because I looked at her and I just said, everyone.
Right.
And I think it was such a revealing conversation for me. And then I asked her, okay, what do I do next? How do I deal with this? She has had the most beautiful way of managing me in terms of leaving me with a thought and saying, okay, now you figure your answer out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Isn't that wild how we do that though? Like we're really looking, I don't know what that is. Like I've been in pageants before seeking, I know now, I didn't know at the time, but maybe even seeking approval or attention or whatever it is to fill whatever gaps. But isn't it such a peaceful place to have that inner peace? I don't know if it's 50s. I'm 55. You're right about the same age, right?
yeah.
And have you found that aging has any component to the wisdom associated with this, or does it make it worse or better? Or sometimes, in some ways, you feel a little worse, and
So
you can have a
I,
heck of a conversation with yourself. But
I think, yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily aging. Of course, with age, you collect a lot more experiences.
right,
But I would say it's a lot more consciousness.
okay,
And
yep.
that's what Lynn, my coach, sparked in me is this awareness of how do I find my answers? And I figured the inner voice has all the answers. You simply need to turn in and align and focus internally to pay attention to what it's trying to tell you.
Do you do you think that's easier when you aren't okay, let me take you back to your 20s for a minute. Even your teens, 20s and so forth. Is it easier now to do that than it was previously? Because like picture yourself a 20-year-old now on social media and all of the things that they do to for attention and hair and makeup and dancing and this and that and another thing, and I'm like, oh, I can't. I know. I don't even know if I would do that in my 20s. Had I if I were 20 right now, I'd probably be on the shy side of that. But do you think that accessing that consciousness is easier in your 50s because there's sort of a mellowness, like a kind, almost like a kind of like, "Well, I don't know if I care what everybody thinks anymore," happening?
So obviously, there is a lot more self love, self acceptance, all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, in the 20s, I was not even aware of it. I was
Right. Me either. I'm
I
sorry,
was
everyone.
I was too busy doing what I thought the world expected me to do.
Yep.
Uh, the typical thing of, okay, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you do so.
Yeah.
Whereas once I got into this whole space of spirituality, uh, it became life has become a lot easier because now there is a there's an intention to say, how do I want to live? Do
Yeah.
I want to constantly live because a certain way because the world expects me to do it, or do I want to live true and be at peace and love myself? So that's where the difference comes. Now I know it's a difficult choice for many because they fear that, oh, will I get cut off from society? What will happen? What will people think? And what I've discovered is that the relationships that were never meant to be with you for a long term will fall off anyway, or they'll get realigned.
Yep.
And you'll always find more and more relationships. So I always tell people that look at the population of the world. You cannot say you're alone in this world. You just have to reach out. And I think the best thing social media has done, in a way, while it may have, we look at the negative side of the noise of it, it's given access to so many communities. And it's up to us whether we want to build a relationship, an authentic relationship through it, or do we just want to look at the likes and the followers and get bent out of shape with that. So it's a very personal mindset you have to cultivate, as to what do I really want there.
Yeah. How did we find each other on Twitter? It's been the
I don't.
most beautiful. I don't know either. It's just like, and there you are, kind of thing. And I love taking social media into real life and connecting, like you're saying. It makes it so much like it
I
makes my day when
remember you
yeah, it
reached
makes my day. Oh, sorry. Go
you
ahead.
sorry, we are in a common group, and I think you reached out to me, right, to write for your magazine, Best Ever
Yeah.
You.
Yep. Yep. I think that.
You And that's where saw your whole website. I saw the work you're doing, and the resonance was so strong that
Yeah.
I think the relationship just moved from there.
Yeah. When I wake up in the morning and I see a tweet from you and I'm tagged in it, I'm like, I don't have to worry for the whole rest of the day. Like there, you feel included, and a bit of wisdom, happiness, joy, everything right off the bat. It's beautiful, and I'm so grateful for that because it just I love that group. Whatever we're in a group, and there's not a lot of people in it. There's maybe like 5 or 6 people in it, and it's a
Yeah,
lovely group.
it's a group that
And
is really full of wisdom, joy,
yeah,
and I think so many stories to share. I love it.
yeah, and there was somebody yesterday. Hang on, I think you had her on your podcast, Isabella, and I do not know how to say her last name.
Neither do I.
Yes.
Which
She
part?
was on there, and I'm like, let's feature you too. Come on. So adorable, and just, I mean, it's just lovely. Like today, 3 hours ago, one of your tweets was, "Growth is silent like trees. We change without noise." And so every morning you put something out like this, and then once that goes out, everybody comments, says a little bit of wisdom, supports each other, says thank you for brightening my day, and it's really lovely. And people add their own quotes and so forth. So I hope people follow us
Yeah,
with
thank
what
you.
you through you. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Let me go back to I have notes, guys. So yeah, I have little notes just to remind myself of some of the things I want to talk to you about, so we don't go kind of all over the place. But I think would really like to talk to you about your books and then your master class, so that people really get a good sense of how they can go buy your books. I don't think people are aware that Amazon reaches globally. Well, we know, I mean, people know Amazon reaches globally, but in a book sense, Amazon reaches globally. So you can publish, I can buy your books, you can buy mine, and so forth, and they arrive just like normal wherever, whatever country they're published in, and it's pretty lovely like that. So do you want to tell everybody about your books?
So, you know, the way you've written Percolate and Success Guidebook and Change Guidebook, I would say pretty much what happened for me was as I was transforming, uh, I had a complete desire to pen down the insights. There was just so much excitement to experience the change by living in alignment with the inner voice that I kept penning them down. And little by little, my first book emerged, which is I Am Freedom, because I was seeking freedom from really all the perceptions. Like we talked about, what does the world have to, should we listen to the world or should we listen to ourselves? My next book emerged after that, which is I Am Abundance, recognizing that I got so attached to so many concepts and perspectives. Uh, I didn't know. So, simple thing like I didn't know what's the difference between honesty and authenticity.
Oh,
Uh, so honesty can be okay. I was honest about something, but I used to even think honestly expressing myself was cool. Now you don't realize that just saying whatever's in your head is not always cool because you could be
filter sometimes, but
you
yeah,
need
honestly, with a slight filter sometimes,
yeah.
kindness.
So that yeah, so that filter was missing.
That's really cute. Yeah, I've been accused of being blunt before myself. Yeah.
so so that's when so things like that, recognizing that no, that opinionated me is not necessarily the right me. And so that's when I'm abundance came out, and really looking at the world as interconnected. I think that was the biggest part of it, seeing the world as one and interconnected. And the whole concept of aloneness got addressed there. uh, then came my next one, which is my favorite book, I Am Love, my poetry book. So I think the magic about that book was that each poem was written in less than a minute.
Wow.
While all my books are revealed wisdom, uh, this one I would say was the highest spontaneity that I could have ever experienced.
Yeah,
And I never saw myself as an author or a poet, but I just had poetry pouring out.
I love it.
And the book takes the whole sequence of questions for the quest of a human life, of what is life, how do I live life, and who am I. So
Mhm.
it carries the whole sequence. And then came the next book, I Am Perfection. Now this is really, I had chased perfection, so called perfection, as a myth, which I know it is now. But perfection so much in my life. I want to be perfect externally, and I wanted life to be perfect. That whole insistence and expectation was so much that obviously there was constant judgment and noise or disappointment in the head till
It's hard
I
to
went.
keep that up too, isn't it? It's really hard to wake up with your hair perfect every morning.
Yeah. So it's a very, yeah, you're
Yeah,
putting a tough standard, not just
yeah,
yourself, but you're messing with everybody around you.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are some people that I always say, it doesn't say perfect ever you, it says best ever you. And then
Yeah.
I do a little asterisk, like, I think I want my heart surgeon to be perfect though. Yeah, like I want my pilot to be pretty much perfect. Like there's some people I think that might need to almost be perfect. Like you don't want to be like, "Hello, everybody, welcome to the airline today, and I'm going to do my best to get you there." Kind of thing.
So
You're like,
I
"No,
think
no, no."
I would make a slight distinction here between excellence and perfection.
Yeah,
And I think that's the thing that emerged for me, that actually life is about the inner perfection and not external. The external comes out when you are absolutely embracing the inner perfection.
yeah.
So the book I Am Perfection was really the journey to realizing that. And now I'm writing the book I Am Light, which is, I would say, my love affair with my inner voice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, we have a lot of the same things, like we've said before, like a lot of the same things. The journey's a little bit of the same, with just toning it down a little bit, but toning it down, but tuning it in is
Yeah.
kind of what I say. Like toned down, but really super tuned in. I think I think I probably will always struggle with listening. My listening skills could be always improved. I think kind of maybe everybody's listening skills could always be improved. I find myself to be talk, 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 talk. And it's like, and so I always work on that. Um, and just, and really try to, observe. I think observe is a good one. So tone down, observing, and so forth. Are you doing that too?
It's an everyday practice
Yes.
because there is no end to this practice.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. All right. Let's tell everybody about your master class, because there's a master class in happiness, I hear.
Yes, thank you for that. So that is going to be coming out sometime shortly. Uh, I think as I went through this journey, I realized ultimately we all look for happiness in the world, happiness, joy, peace, uh, because that is our inherent state of being. That's our core essence. And the masterclass takes a full journey. That's been the highest miracle that I've experienced so far, amongst many others. But I think the framework of the masterclass that got revealed to me during COVID,
Hmm.
it gives you the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. That
So say
has been
it again.
the Bhagavad Gita has
Hmm.
been the guiding light in terms of the wisdom for me. And essentially, the way it works is that all of us use our four faculties all the time, which is our sensory perceptions, our thoughts, our emotions, and our energy. And so there are the four yogas that go with it.
Yeah.
And when you anchor them inside or use each of them in alignment with the inner voice or the inner self, you are actually able to anchor each one and live a far more aligned life. Or a life of alignment is a life of yoga or union. And therefore, when you live in alignment, and whether you're using your senses, your energy, your emotions, your thoughts, everything is in alignment, you are able to actually become one, or in dissolve the mind to become actually an embodiment of consciousness.
Yeah. Okay, we're going
And
to give some practical. I'm going to give a practical example of that, because I love all the teaching, but I want people to like hear, how do I actually use that
yeah,
in my daily life? So, that inner voice that talks to you and says, I shouldn't do that, or that's not right, or you even might even feel it, but you ignore it. I think that is, let's talk together so we can teach people a little bit,
sure.
because I really believe, you and I are like heart, truths, energy. That's the change guidebook. Make everything align. Heart, truths, energy, authentic you. Pay attention to the voice. Pay attention to the gut. Pay attention to what you're thinking, and so forth. When you ignore that, when you ignore that, or don't have your value with you, you're not listening to yourself, you're listening to other people with what they think you should do, and so forth. How does that affect us, and what do we do about that?
So I would really say, in very practical terms, I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing that happens is you get angry, you get anxious, you get stressed, you face burnout, um, you get you feel incomplete, you start comparing, you're jealous, you're envious, you get, there's just this whole thing of something's not right.
Yeah.
Oops.
See? No, no, no,
Sorry.
don't.
Sorry.
Bring it. I love it. Oh.
Oh,
See, now I
I
love what you did though. Something wasn't right and you didn't ignore it.
am so sorry.
No, no, it's
Uh,
all good.
no, so she is my protector of sorts. So anybody
Oh,
comes
yeah.
near the door, she had to bark.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but that's that just happened for a reason, I swear. Because that's what we're talking about. Exactly. In dog terms, that's exactly it. It's like don't ignore it, right?
Don't ignore the signs. You don't ignore that your body doesn't feel okay.
Right.
You
Something
feel,
just doesn't
yeah,
feel
you
right,
feel
right?
out of whack. You
Yeah.
really feel out of whack. And the thing is, you know it, but you don't necessarily know how to trust it or what to
Oh,
do with
thank
it.
you. Right?
Or you don't know what to do with it. So I think that was what was happening with me. I knew something was not right. I didn't know what to do with it. So that feeling of helplessness, uh, the feeling of blaming the world for all your problems, that's why I call it a choice. That whole feeling of what should I do? Who should I listen to?
Yeah. So
Uh,
when I talk about like a I'm gonna put my hands up like this, like a touchdown, not touchdown, but just like this, and say, like we're here, right? And we might need to make a change, and then we sort of maybe get stuck, and we go back to here, like comfort zone, comfort zone, comfort zone, comfort zone all day long, and then over here is fear and the unknown, and it's like moving this way toward the fear and the unknown is the scary part. And that's what you're saying, like where you don't trust yourself and so forth. And then what we do is we stay stuck, like on a hamster wheel, going round and round and round and round and round. What we really want is off of that, moving that way, but we're scared or we don't have the right tools or the right people or the right book or the right sentence or quote or whatever it is. And so we go all the way back to here sometimes. And we're just always over here when we want to be here. And that makes you really, what you're saying, angry, mad, upset, jealous, comparing, ungrateful, whatever it is, right? It makes you really unsure of your next steps.
so, the journey, like you talked about, fear to faith or fear is really learning to, is love.
Yeah.
It's loving yourself. It's really love, because love is our core, love is our essence. And the more we learn to love ourselves, the more we are kind, we are generous, we are compassionate, we listen better, we are more accepting. It's the whole energy, the whole
Yeah.
energy changes. There's that field around us.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Yeah. I think everything changes with self love and self worth
Yeah.
completely. Self love, self worth, self care, and so forth. And people think those. I- I've had people where I've encountered them, and they've said, "I've never heard of self love. What is that? I've never heard of self worth. What is that?" And so forth. And you explain it, and they're like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh," and it's almost like the core of all of it, isn't it? That self love.
Yeah. It is
Because
absolutely.
like if you're here and then here's the stuck and here's the fear and so forth, beyond that is what you're like saying, like the faith. So to go from here to faith is all these steps in between, and the creatures that are on board with us are self-love, self-worth, self-care, intuition,
Yeah, it's
right?
self
Like listening,
awareness, self leadership, it's all of it.
all of it. Right? And it's
Yeah.
not linear either. I'm making it sound like, this is a linear path. It's like, ooh,
No, it's
right?
a roller coaster ride. It's a complete roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
The difference is that earlier you disliked the roller coaster ride. Now I embrace it and take it on. In fact, I
Right.
jump onto the roller coaster ride.
The ones that take you upside down and loop.
Oh, you have to go. Yeah. So that was my skydive where I said, okay, uh, how do I let go of this incessant need to be in control, even that little tick that stays in the head. And I said, okay, I'm going to do something that is so crazy that's going to totally throw me out of the whole concept of being in control. So I went and did a skydive.
Oh, I need a photograph of that. We're gonna put that up. And were you on the plane? Like, see, I can't do. No. That's a no for me. No matter what, I'd pretty much rather do anything else but that. And like, even if they shoved me out the airplane, I would be like, no. um, did you have to get shoved out, or were you like, okay, I'm gonna jump?
No, I actually jumped because I was so
Yeah.
mentally prepared and excited. Uh,
Wow, good for
I
you.
just, I just jumped out. I think I was so ready for it.
Yeah. And so when you do something like that, do you feel a need to have a layup and do something else like that? Like, are you climbing mountains or running marathons or doing things like that? Or was that it for you and you're pretty good?
No,
Are
no,
you a daredevil?
so I challenge my comfort zone all the time.
Love it.
Whether it is a polar plunge in the Antarctica, or whether it is an ice dip in the Arctic Ocean, or the or a
Yeah.
trek up to the Everest base camp area. I love to challenge my boundaries because for me, life is really, I think, about embracing that unknown.
Yeah.
It's constantly and seeing, okay, what, and nature is my go to, it's my
Fine.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything that takes me closer to nature. And,
Love it.
but I think what happens really, Elizabeth, is there is a very high part of me which will say, okay, if I need to open myself to, so the polar plunge, the way I said, letting go of control was the skydive. So the polar plunge was, how do I just embrace the world as is the expanse? I just said, okay. And am I scared of heights? Yes, I am. But I did it. Am I scared of being in the ocean? Oh, absolutely. I did not have, I can swim, but very, very
Yeah.
okay. Not enough to be in an ocean. But I think it was for me about pushing myself to say, okay, let's just go for it. And that, I think once I have that internal conviction,
Mhm.
uh, I don't have anything that stops me then. It's
Love
just, I'm just able to jump.
it. Yeah. Let's talk about, I want to bring that to other people, and bring it to a level where maybe somebody is afraid even to go to a different grocery store or their routine is set and so forth. Um, can you talk about that a little bit? Because I still think it's important even to challenge yourself, even if it's, yeah, okay, so you're not a mountain climber or jumping out of airplanes or anything like that. What are and I love it. But what are things that we could do like in our non-adventurous spirit and incorporate into our everyday lives that are brave like that?
So, I think the first thing is that we are born explorers. I think we are the ones who start building these walls around us of what if.
Right? Yeah.
So many what ifs. And I think it's all about baby steps. So it's not as if I suddenly one fine day found all the courage. Uh,
Right? Yeah.
it's been baby steps. It's been little steps of saying, okay, let's try something new today. It could be just cooking a new dish at home. It could be going and meeting somebody new outside. It could be doing something new on social media. It could be really anything,
Right? Just a
anything
little bit of
small.
change. Yeah.
Uh, it could even be a new type of conversation, even with my family.
Yeah.
Anything that will say, okay, I'm trying something new. Uh, or even learning something, because today we have access to so many courses. So just pick up something that will challenge your or spark your curiosity again,
Yeah.
that
So
learner in you.
I love it. Yeah. I've got a story to add. So tomorrow's going to be a big day for me. When I was a kid, I was a gymnast from age like pretty much when I was born to about age 28. I was a gymnast, a
Okay.
competitive gymnast in the state of Iowa. And I've had my children and my businesses and all these things. And we have a neighbor girl across the street who said, would you come? You know, I know, we were talking about gymnastics. And I'm like, oh, all right. She said, would you come to my gymnastics lesson with me and my mom? And I'm like, just watch me and see if I'm good and what I can improve and so forth. So I went to the main academy of gymnastics, and sat there for an hour and a half and watched Taya do her gymnastics. And the whole time I'm like feeling like a little kid.
Ah,
But with
so
a coach hat on, like I'm like, oh, I can see they need to point their toes or their handstands not correct or whatever. And I'm like, oh. And so I was working with Taya and everything, and she goes, you and her mom said, you need to coach here. And
ah,
so I let it sit for a
wonderful
while.
is that? Oh,
Yeah, wait
wonderful.
a minute. It gets
So
better. Yeah.
yeah, so I'll
Go.
give a real life story here. I
Yeah.
used to be very, very camera conscious,
Oh, yeah.
hugely. And that's something which I think for public speaking or coming in front of a camera is one of the highest fears.
Right.
And each time I would record something, I would be stiff, I would be miserable. And so, what I decided was okay, if I really want to get out there in the world, I went and joined theater group.
Hmm.
I joined a theater course. I was one of the oldest ones. All the students there were under
Right.
30.
Yeah.
Uh, but and they make you do so many things that are out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
but it really set me up for the camera.
I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it, and I think that's the point here is, at whatever age you are, um, to go for it. And so I'm going to do something tomorrow. I am going for a meeting to join the main Academy of Gymnastics to be a coach tomorrow.
It's
Right? And I am so scared. I am so scared, but I'm so brave in the same. And the same, I'm on walks with my husband, like, why didn't I do this like 30 years ago? I know it's like, whatever, so I beat myself up a little bit. I'm like, just, and I'm so ahead of myself, like in fear, like, what if I'm like, calm down, calm down. Did you do that with your theater group? Like, what if they don't like me? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I,
oh,
uh,
all the
oh,
time, the
right?
time.
Yeah.
Every day, every class was difficult because there were some who were natural at it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it was I had such a blast uh, just trying insane things. Uh, but I think the biggest realization I had was that I'm definitely not cut out to be an actor.
That's funny. Yeah, that's bizarre when you get in front of a group of people and they're like, act like you're crying. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. So tomorrow I'm job shadowing one of the coaches to learn, and I think that's one of the most important things is to be coachable. Like, make yourself. You might know things that they don't know or have miles, of years or whatever it is, but I'm going in with a baseline of like, I know nothing, teach me, kind of thing. And I'm so
Yes.
excited. It took me a while to kind of figure that out. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go in and like coach the gymnastics team. I'm going to go in and I'm going to coach the preschoolers and get a feel for this and learn this and be coachable and learn how to coach people and all of these things. And did you feel that way in theater group too? I know we got to go pretty soon here too, where you're like,
Uh,
okay, coach me, I'm open to
no,
this.
no, 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 no. I'm good. So I think every time I take on a course, so I did, for instance, another course I did was digital marketing and strategy.
Yeah.
Because I was not the most adept at technology or embracing social media. And it was uncomfortable because, again, what I've seen is the courses I've done have all these youngsters there, the youth there who are 20, 30 years younger than me. And,
Right. Yeah.
and here I am learning at this stage of life. But I think the fact, like you said, when I go in there completely being okay with not knowing anything,
Yeah.
and asking all the questions, the silly questions, the whatever type of questions, and making a buddy out of somebody and saying, "Hey, can you help me?"
Yeah.
You find your way.
Yeah. No, I agree. I love it. Thank you for sharing all of that too, and thank you for letting me share a little bit on me interviewing you. But I thought that would be nice for people because we're in our 50s and we're writing books and we're doing new things and we're taking classes. And I think it's a great example because it used to be like, well, you're 40, kind of thing. And it's not that way anymore. And I love it. So hopefully we'll inspire. What my hope here is that we inspire even just one person, our age or not, to go on that journey of self-love, self-worth, remembering their value, and bravery. So much bravery. So, all right, I know we got to go, and I hope you come back, by the way. Um, and please do, and we'll cover the rest of the questions I have for you. But if you could leave our audience with one powerful reminder or invitation for their own journey of self-discovery, what would it be?
Know that your inner self is always it's your playbook to happiness.
Love it. All right. Will you share your websites one more time? Your
It's
website.
Thank you for that. It's www.ashukhanna.com, ASHUKHANNA.com. And I'm on all social media with I am Ashu Khanna.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. What's your favorite I have a couple more questions for you. What's your favorite platform to be on? Like, where do you feel most like people engage you and you're comfortable on there?
Twitter,
Twitter. Okay.
undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly. And we already learned that you're probably maybe your favorite book that you have written. It's hard though, because they're like all babies, is I Am Loved, which is your poetry book, right? Yeah. And then if you could leave us with a book recommendation, I would really appreciate that. I love it when our community gives us book
So,
recommendations.
after the Bhagavad Gita, I think the other book that really influenced me was Mahatma Gandhi's My Experiments with Truth. To read about a personality like him, a leader like him, really talking about his imperfections and embracing them was very empowering for me and very inspiring.
Love it. Yeah, because we think somebody like that's just perfect, right?
Yeah.
Back
So,
to
whether it is Andrea Gassi's Open or other such books, I have seen that. I remember reading a book of, of entrepreneurs when I was struggling with fear of failure.
Mhm.
And I think one of the things that I had to really take back was everybody fails, everybody explores, everybody experiments. You never get your answer the first time round.
We're always learning. If you could help somebody be their best, give advice to help people be their best, what would that be?
uh, just love yourself.
Oh,
That
yeah.
there is, like I said, there is no such thing as perfection external. Love yourself, all what's and everything, because there is only one you, and for a reason. I think that's the thing that I discovered. I had to really come home to myself saying, I'm born for a reason, and let me really make sure I live up to and make that reason do something about it.
I love it. Well, thank you for doing that because we're here, right? It's
We are
beautiful to meet you.
right at it, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's give your website one more time, and let's give a sign off of. We hope everybody follows us on Twitter and joins in our morning ritual there, and just helping everybody be their best, right?
Yeah. So thank you again. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. My website is ashukhanna.com. And I would be and we have a Happiness Chronicles newsletter that we
Oh,
publish
yeah.
twice a month. And we've started something called Wisdom Unplugged on Thursdays once a month. So it's really about sharing whatever's happening in the month, our podcasts, our little blogs, and
Love it.
any new content that we have created.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. All right, thank you everybody for listening to listening and watching. I guess the Best Ever You show. Ashu Khanna is here with us, and it's just been a wonderful hour and some with you, learning all about you. And I hope that one of the things that I always hope and pray for and have faith in is our listeners and our viewers, because the Best Ever You network and the Best Ever You show are all completely grassroots. There's never any advertising or anything like that. So it's all word of mouth and connection and community. So as you connect to somebody that you love, let us know, and we'll feature them on the website or here on the podcast, because that's how we all grow and share and kind of cut down fear. I think the more community we have, and the more we have people supporting us, the less fear we have, and that allows us to pretty much. I think the possibilities become infinite at that point.
That is such a beautiful way to end the conversation. That, yes, the more we connect, the less the fear and the more possibilities and the more the love.
Yeah, love and peace. All right. Mwah.
Love and peace. Thank you
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank
you. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.